Hello and welcome to the show today. My guest is a talented voice actor. Let's go to a clip now to hear a bit of his work.
What are you doing out here all alone? You're gonna catch a cold!
I don't care if you were his apprentice or not! I won't let you make fun of my dad like that! No way in hell!
I'm the best in the academy. There's no way you can beat me.
Aye, lad, now go pick up your mum. That's pretty funny, considering you can't use your powers anymore. I told you! They're all dead. There's no reason we should even be fighting anymore. I must do as my master orders me, and she has ordered me to make sure that this ceremony is not interrupted.
Isn't that just pure talent? Ladies and gentlemen, Peter William Gerkman. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
You're very, very welcome.
Now, of course, I always start at the beginning, so what got you into voice acting?
Well, man. Let's see. Actually, it started out just actually watching anime in general, and then figuring out, like, around back when I was 13, when me and a friend were watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, we found out that we could actually do all the recording we needed from, like, our own bedrooms, and then I found the Voice Acting Alliance, and then I just, it essentially just went from there. And I've been doing it ever since, ever since I was 13.
Neat. So, what would you say is like your favourite part about voice acting?
I don't know, it's like my favorite part. Just wow. There's always a bunch of variety, and no one project is the same, unless it's a part of a franchise, of course. But like it's just the chance to be able to breathe life into a character, essentially, and just being able to give them a personality, give them essentially a way that people can relate to them.
So, what would you say is like the hardest part of being a voice actor?
Probably the pay in some cases. I've the amount of projects that I've been on where, I mean, it's not a bad thing, where like I've done projects for free, of course, even though I'm much like I do enjoy my projects that will pay me a little bit, because starving college student voice actor going on here. But yeah, I mean, pay, unless you're doing like a really, really big franchise cartoon, or doing something for Pepsi or Coca-Cola or Super Bowl Sunday, you're essentially not going to be getting paid that much.
Now, out of all the roles that you've done so far, which is like your most enjoyable role?
Most enjoyable role. I'm honestly at a crossroads here right now, because there are actually a couple of characters I can't talk about right now. NDAs. But probably I'll go with my two favorite right now. It's Eldwin Kirshner from, and this is probably gonna be the first time that I'm talking about it in an interview, but it's Eldwin Kirshner from an indie game called Noctimus. Saito, like, the other one is Saito Miki from Otome Magica, which is essentially a visual novel based off the Madoka Magica series, where every character besides Madoka is Rule 63'd, and and they're all magical boys, and you essentially are in the role of Madoka, and just like every visual novel, you play through the story, you have certain routes you can go down, certain characters you can be in a relationship with. And it's fairly interesting. I mean, the game, like the visual novel itself, isn't done yet, so that's not exactly up, but I can talk about it. And as for Noctimus, I'm actually feeling kind of silly because I didn't get to talk about it when I mentioned it. But it's a indie horror game based in it's actually, if I'm not mistaken, it actually takes place in England. Pardon me if I'm wrong. I haven't actually reread the story for the project in about 3 weeks. But it's a horror game based off of dreams and a darkness enveloping an island, and the main character is trying to save his love interest. And it's pretty cool. The art is just stellar, and it's going to be in a really cool, like, 2D with a 3D background sort of thing. So it's gonna be interesting.
So, with many other people out there trying to become voice actors themselves, words getting a bit messed up, sorry.
Sorry.
What advice would you give someone else who's trying to get into voice acting?
Well, I guess the generic thing, and say practice, 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 and do your best to get yourself out there, and don't aim high, but don't build yourself up to the point where you end up getting crushed and you don't want to do this anymore, because the longer you're in it, the more things come your way. You just need to keep on pushing, and if you send something to a company, they don't like it, or they don't have a project going, or a project that's suitable for you, just move on. They'll probably, they'll more than likely call you back if you feel like you suit something. It's just persevering and not giving up, really, if I'm going to be going all cliched anime on you.
So, would you, now that you've done I'm failing today.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Now that you've done a few voice roles, have you noticed there's any fan following going on, or have people been messaging you to say how much they enjoy your work?
Over the 6 years that I've been up doing voiceover allotted, both amateurly and professionally, I've gotten quite a few messages. I've had a couple of con encounters with people. Some I'd like to talk about, and others I wouldn't. But I guess there might be a following there. It's just, for some reason, I don't see as me having one. Because, I've got friends who are, they go to cons and they get mobbed. And I'm like, now they have a fan following. I don't. But it's just, it's nice to know that even though there's a few compared to other voice actors, or compared to my friends, that there are people out there that do enjoy my work and do actually want to hear me in more stuff. It actually gives me a lot of motivation.
Now, speaking of more stuff, what do you have planned for in the future? What can we look forward to?
Well, I have a convention coming up in March, which is Kyle Hebert and Uncle Yo are actually going to be there as well. And Uncle Yo is supposed to be interviewing me and a fellow voice actor of mine who lives in my area as well, because we met up at a prior convention and we've been meaning to hop on his podcast and talk about things, but we decided this would be a better idea and it would be quite entertaining for the people at the con. And then I have a couple of original animations that I'm in, but I'm going to keep that hush-hush for now.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now I can tell you that we're all going to look forward to that, and unfortunately that's all the time we got. Thank you very much for coming on the show. You've been a brilliant guest.
Thank you!
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter William Gerkman. And I've been Caboos15. Catch you next time.